All right, if you haven't heard enough about me playing some games at Summer Game Fest Playdays, I got one more for you. This one I had to wait a minute to talk about, but we're finally here. Star Wars Galactic Racer is a game I got a chance to get some hands-on time with at Summer Game Fest Playday, and I finally wanted to get a chance to talk about it. So we're here talking about it. This game's coming out October of this year in 2026. It's going to be coming out on PC, PS5, and Xbox. October 6th, yeah, October 6th, 2026. And this game, I will say, is probably the game I underestimated the most going into Summer Game Fest. They showed it at the showcase with Jeff Keighley with the trailer, and I think that trailer, as I talked about before, it pleasantly surprised me. It kind of was the first time I fully started to see, okay, I see what you're doing with it that feels more than what it initially led me to believe it was. And I thought it was just going to be like, hey, here's some arcade racer, go run some tracks, win, do something fun. But that trailer really started to highlight the characters, the world, the story, and then getting my hands on with it at my appointment at Summer Game Fest Playdays. Man, it's saying that so many times I feel like but getting a chance to play it at my appointment really kind of was the proof in the pudding of it. You start off, you get a chance to kind of like modify your racer, and then you go and you start entering this world. And there's like 3 or 4 different types of racers. There's a speed bike, there's a cruiser, there's a lander, and there's like a heavy duty kind of like combat vehicle. And initially I was like, why isn't this a pod racing game? There is pod racing, that isn't lost, but adding these other types of vehicles to it, I think adds to the breadth of the variety of which you can be. Like, what style of racer are you as a player? And again, it's going into it and it's treating it much more like a like a story, a cinematic kind of story. This underground, like deep rate, like Fast and the Furious. You're in the trenches. You're like, okay, there's some dirty racing going on. There's circuits. There's betting. There's aristocratic hot shots. There's slime balls like Sebulba, and there's everyone in between. And that's where I think it rides the best line of what it is. It's like that balance between building out these characters you already know, creating new ones that you can get invested in, hopefully, and then finding your own space in it and playing this character that just kind of navigates all that. I thought that as a premise and that as a framework is what's going to lend itself the best to allow this game to be a game I really want to spend time with. And I genuinely left the demo really stoked to play more of it. The racing in of itself felt so like just kinetic and just you're in it. When you boost, it feels like a boost. I always, one of my favorite things coming out of the prequel Star Wars films was the pod racing mythos that they created of like, oh, look at all these different types of racers, the types of people, the circuit that exists and all this stuff. This feels like it's really going back to that and be like, we have a world in and of this area to play with. And you can get into the pod racing. So they let me play a little bit of the story, and then I really wanted to know what about the pod racing can you do, and there is a specific just pod racing mode that you can do. And so it let me, I don't know if I even got to pick, but I played as Sebulba, and so Sebulba's like ship and aesthetic and everything, and you just barreling down those Tatooine raceways, and it feels amazing. Like, you do the turns, you do the twists. Each racer, much like the main kind of types of racers, they have a skill set or an ability that you can trigger or amplify. So for instance, Sebulba has these like inferno blazes that you can trigger that turn on around him. It just blasts the people to the left and right of him to do some damage to him. You can destroy racers, and so it sets them back, and you can bump them into walls, you can shove them into stuff. The other types of speeders and racers also have skill sets where they can barrel through areas and not be as combative, or you could really lean harder into the combative nature, and there's one that's like all about that. And that would be like the most of it that I think is like the cool kind of breadth that this offers. So much, I think, if I were to give any point of criticism, I'll say this. I did have one thing that really stood out to me as like this is cool in thought, but it's really starting to grind me the more we do it. So the races themselves, it's speed. There's pod racing, and then there's the other types of racers. It's very fast paced. It's not like a slow going kind of racing game or anything. You're going pretty quick, but when you destroy a vehicle, it takes a moment to, like, right in the moment of destruction, slow-mo pan to that incident occurring while you're still going, and it kind of like 180s the camera, and then it comes back, and you're supposed to continue the racing. On the wider tracks, that's fine. On I experienced it most with the pod racing. You're going through like little narrow tunnelways where you yourself are like trying to not die. Every time it did that, I instantly died right after, and it was driving me nuts. I like the idea of it, but I wish one of two things. I couldn't tell. Maybe this is something that they share later. I couldn't tell if they put you on like on an auto tracking. I kept trying to still manage the thumbstick to guide me while it flipped the camera, and every time I just hit the wall right after that happened. But I'm wondering if it could or should just auto track you along like the clear path so you don't hurt yourself or blow up while it's forcing you to watch this. Or if you could just disable it. I think if you could disable it, it would allow you to be like, hey, that's cool when I want it, but if I don't want it, I want to be very much like, I want to S rank this track or go for a new record or something, let you just lock in and do that. That's my biggest gripe. That's my only gripe, really. Everything else felt really great. It felt good behind the sticks. It looked beautiful. It had a few characters that you're like, ooh, I want to know more about this or that. But yeah, Star Wars Galactic Racer surprised me in ways I didn't expect it to, and I am ready to get into it. I thought Forza was going to be the game I play this year for like a racing game. It might still be, but this is now top of the list. Galactic Racer is what I want to be playing, and I want to check it out. And I'm wondering, is it something that has been on your wish list, on your cup of tea to check out? October's rolling around. It's one of the few games, too, I think, that is avoiding the September Royal Rumble of games and the November GTA of games. So October 6th could be a good time for some pod racing. Really fun stuff, really cool stuff, and we'll have more. Actually, this should be the last coverage for Summer Game Play Days. So by this point, you should be seeing some whole new set of stuff for me. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you again for watching or listening to any of this stuff I've been sharing recently regarding this stuff. It's always stuff that I do, a labor of love. It's a really cool opportunities I get that I want to share the insights and impressions I give. So hopefully that's of help to you. But until next time, we'll catch you in the next part.